Okay, dear students, as I was telling that, more number of significant figure, more will be the accuracy, as you are not sure only about the last digit, but you are sure about the first three digits. So that's why always, if you are expressing any number now, it would be better if you express to the more number of decimal places. But doesn't mean that you should go for finding all the very micro milli level type of things. If you are able to measure it, it will be better. Otherwise, express with at least 1 or 2 decimal places, it would be more better. Okay, so let's go for the next one now. Few figures are expressed in the scientific notation. Mark the incorrect one. Okay, there could be some spelling mistake. Okay, let it be. So here you can see that, so 234 double triple zero into 10 to the power 5. So even though it contains a number like this, these three are not counted here. Okay, they are not counted as a significant figure. So therefore, if you are expressing this one, it would be better to express with the same number of scientific notation as 2.34 into 10 to the power 5. Okay, yeah, this is not mentioned, right? Okay, so now it is becoming 5. Got it? So if you see the second option as 8008, which contains 4 significant figure, so it would be better now if you express then as 8.008 into 10 to the power 3. Now it is right. Okay, now it is right. But if you just express this one, okay, if you just express this one as 8.0 into 10 to the power 3, then it is not correct. Okay, it is not correct. So therefore it is B is not correct. All other options are correct. So therefore, for fifth one, it is B. Now sixth one, convert to 2.5 meter cube. Okay, 2.5 meter cube to ml, right? Ml. So you should understand. Okay, you should understand here that meter cube and relation between the ml, because if you go for direct conversion, you will go wrong. So just have the understanding about the meter cube and ml conversion. Okay, that you better convert the meter cube into the liter first. So 1 meter cube is nothing but 1000. Okay, 1000 liter. So just substitute here that 2.5 meter cube is nothing but 2500 liter, or it would be better you express this on raised to term as 2.5 only. Okay, into 10 to the power 3 liters. Got it? 2.5 into 10 to the power 3 liters. Now we know how to convert this liter into ml. So required value is ml, that will be divided, that is nothing but 10 to minus 3 ml. So it will become 2.5 into 10 to the power 6 ml. So I hope you understood what I've just done now, right? So whenever you are converting 2.5 liters to the ml, now we know m is nothing but milli, 10 to the power minus 3. So what is required, that comes to the denominator, that is also told to you, right? So therefore it becomes 2.5 into 10 to the power 3 already there liter, divided by required is ml. Okay, required is ml, so that comes to the denominator as 10 to minus 3. So this comes to the numerator to become 10 to plus 3. So overall value is 10 to 6. This option is given. This option is given in the option number D. Again it is D. Sixth one is again, sorry, it is seventh one, right? Sixth one is missing here. I just missed it. I'll just solve it the sixth one first. So it is right. Okay, it is D. Now if you go for the next one, that is sixth one actually. Now I'll solve the sixth one. The result of operation of 1.10 into 1.00 into 1.111. So even though you can see that it contains 3 significant figure, this contains 3, it contains 5. Even though whatever the answer you get, final answer should be expressed as a 3 significant digit. Got it? So therefore, answer contains 1.22, which contains 3 significant figure, as option C. So option C is correct for sixth one. Let's go for the eighth one now. Eighth one. There is a problem with the eighth one. Okay. Many of you asked me that once I sent the question paper. It was actually, I wanted to give it as 2.87 picometers. By mistake, I write it as 287.7 picometers. Got it? So whenever you see this type of question, okay, if there is a mistake, in the question paper, you will get grace mark. Grace mark means either the marks of 4 will be added to the marks that you have got, or that question will be not counted at all. For example, if the question is not counted, I have sent totally 12 questions. It will be now considered as a for 11. Okay. For 11, what is the total marks that you are getting? So then in this way, it will be counted. Okay. In this way, it will be counted. Got it? So therefore, the eighth one is like this. Or if you want to check your answer, you have assumed that, sir, I assumed that this was 2.87 only. By that, if you want to solve, so what they are asking here is 2.87 picometer should be converted into millimeter, right? Millimeter. You know what is need to be converted? It need to be converted into millimeter. So let me just express now. So 2.87 into pico is 10 to minus 12 and milli is required, milli is 10 to minus 3. Okay, so it is just like you're converted into millimeters. So just cancel it. So you'll be getting 2.87 into 10 to the power minus 9 millimeter. So this was given as an option A because I was expecting, I wanted to give this as a question, but I have given this as a question. So if you want to solve this as a question now, you will be getting 28.7 into 10 to the power minus 9 millimeters. Okay, this will be same. Only thing is this is changed. So if you want to express this, others what happened? Others what happened? It will become 2.87 into 10 to the power minus 8 millimeters. Okay, so either if you are getting this one or this one as an answer, so you can just go for any of this or just remove that, neglect that question, count for total of 11. Let's go for the next one. So value of what happened, others? What you wanted to tell? Value of 11 to 11,253 kg per meter cube into CGS unit. CGS unit, you should express it as a gram per centimeter cube. Got it? You should express in this way. You should express in this way. This is nothing but the CGS unit. So let's convert this. Okay, let's convert this. So 11253 kg. Okay, kg is nothing but 1000 grams because I want that one in a kg. It should be converted into grams divided by. Okay, I'll just mute audio. Okay, don't worry. I'll just mute audio. Vasant, just mute yourself. Okay. Now I feel it's fine. Okay. So now it's fine. I feel. Okay. See. So if you want to convert this now, okay, if you want to convert the kg to the gram, you just need to multiply by 1000. Now let me convert the meter cube to the centimeter cube. Okay, meter cube to the centimeter cube. We know that 1 meter is nothing but 100 centimeter. Got it? 100 centimeter. 100 is nothing but 10 raised to 2. So therefore, meter, you just write in this way. Okay, you can write in this way. It will be more better if you write in this way. Okay. Yeah, that much, right? So so I just told you that meter is nothing but 10 to the power 2 centimeter. Okay, I'm just converting this meter into, see, I want to convert the meter cube into centimeter, right? So let me write the meter in terms of centimeter. That is nothing but 10 to the power 2 centimeter. So therefore 10 to the power 2 centimeter. Just I converted the bracket thing. Okay, bracket thing is centimeter. So raised to 3 will be as it is. So if you bring that inside, it becomes 10 raised to 6 centimeter cube. Okay, so 1 meter cube is nothing but 10 raised to 6 centimeter cube. Got it? If you're not sure with any of this thing that I'm telling now, you can just message me personally. I'll reply. Okay, I'll reply. Only thing is, sometime I may take time. For example, those who were sent yesterday, I just replied today. Okay, because I was a little busy yesterday, I was not able to reply, but I will reply. Okay, I may take time, but I will reply. So 1 meter cube is nothing but 10 raised to 6 centimeter cube. Just substitute here. It will become 10 raised to 6 centimeter cube. Got it? 1000 is nothing but 10 raised to 3. So this will cancel out. What remains? 10 raised to minus 3. So it is nothing but 11253 into 10 to the power minus 3 gram per centimeter cube. I just converted. Only thing is I can remove this one by multiplying here. It becomes 11.253 gram per centimeter cube. So this is the final answer. Okay. So wherever you see this, Because final answer, others, in the sixth one, it is given as 1.10 into 1.00, both contains three significant figure. So your answer should be containing the same number of significant figure as contained is the number with the smallest significant figure. So smallest significant figure is this number which contains three significant figure. So answer should also contain same. Okay, so here, you know, there's a very easy way to convert into this one. Okay, whenever you are converting the kg meter cube to the centimeter gram per cm cube, just multiply this one 10 to minus 3. Okay, so it become 11.253. Got it? For example, if you want to convert 1000 kg per meter cube, you know what is that compound that has a 1000 kg per meter cube? Water. Okay, water has 1000 kg per meter cube as a density. Now if you want to convert this into the centimeter cube, just multiply by 10 to minus 3 or divided by 1000. Okay, divided by 1000, that is nothing but 1 gram per cm cube. Got it? Remember also, okay, it's better to remember this also, that water density in CGS unit will be 1 gram per cm cube. In SI unit it will be 1000 kg per meter cube. Got it? So whenever it is asked to convert from gram per cm cube to kg per meter cube, multiply by 10 raised to 3 or 1000. If you want to convert in reverse, divide by 10 raised to 3. Got it? So that's the simplest way to convert a centimeter cube, a gram per centimeter cube to kg per meter cube or kg per meter cube to centimeter cube. Is that clear? Okay. Next question. So that's, I should write here, right? Eighth one, which was a wrong, but you can consider I wanted the answer A. You can, depending on you, just add or you can neglect it. Okay. So answer for this one is again D, right? It is D. So 10th one, round off the 3.3558 to three significant figure. Okay, three significant figure. So here you should round off it to three significant figure. If you see the next number, which is 5, okay, which is 5. So therefore also you can see the next two digit that it is greater than 50. Okay, greater than 50. So it's better to round off this value to the next digit. So it becomes 3.36. Okay, 3.36. Yes, Shilpa. Yes, Anirudh. Right? So therefore this answer is there in the option B. Got it? Answer B. Okay. Number of significant figure is 0.00, then 0, then 3, 0, 0. So there are many zeros, but you know only these zeros will be counted. Okay, only these zeros will be counted when there is a decimal point. So therefore these three are the significant figure. Okay, whereas this one are never counted. So therefore it contains three significant figure. This option is given in option D. Okay, option D. That is 3. Yes, answer 3 is correct, option D. So 12th one. So when you are adding, again you should follow this rule. 7.23 plus 2.1 plus 0.312. So whenever you are adding, finally whatever the answer you get, okay, finally whatever the answer, actually when you add it, you will get this answers 9.642 in a calculator. But remember that you should keep your answer to the least possible decimal places. Okay, means 2.1 has only one decimal place, so you should keep the answer as 9.6 or 7 depending on what is the next number. So if you want to round off to this value, next number is less than 5, so you keep that value as it is. So answer should be 9.6. Okay, 9.6. So it is B. Got it? Okay, let me tell you one thing, students, now. Okay, let me tell you one thing, that this is the first part now. Okay, in the chapter, this is the first part. On that I have covered both boards level as well as the competitive level. Yeah, you should, if you want to keep this value, you should round off this. Always remember that. If you want to value to the one decimal place, you should consider only these two. By considering the next value, it is less than 5, so there is no round off. If it was like 7 or 8, then you should write it as 9.7. Okay, that's the thing that I told. Got it? You should round off it. Okay. Okay, so with this, what I'll tell you now here is, okay, this is the first part. Okay, this is the first part that I just dealt in the some basic concepts of chemistry. Got it? So this to the competitive level only we have just understood. Got it? So when I start the competitive classes, when I finish the first chapter to the boards level, I'll be starting the competitive class. Then again, I won't discuss this part. Okay. Again, I won't discuss because it will be, it is not that much important also. Okay. It's not that much important. Second thing is, you will slowly get confused with many of the things that I should keep the round of value or anything. So don't apply all these concepts everywhere. Okay. Only to this concept it is mainly required. In other cases, don't go for applying the same concept everywhere and all. So don't go for it. Okay. So this part, okay, this part is over here only. Okay. From when we start the boards or competitive whatever, I'll be starting mainly from that loss only. Okay. Whatever the loss that we have started in the last class, we'll go for that. Got it? So I feel this is enough now. Okay. I feel this is enough on this part. Let's move on now. Let's move on to the loss that we started. I hope there is no doubt in this. If you have still have doubt in this, you can ask me personally. And from today onwards, okay, from today onwards, we'll be a little serious towards the boards and competitive part in the this chapter, some basic concepts of chemistry. So here we have started with the law of, okay, laws of chemical combination. I'll take for 10 minutes. Okay, dear students, I will take for 10 minutes. Is that okay? Or you have class at 11:45, right? Then I'll take for 5 minutes. Okay, I'll take for 5 minutes or 7 minutes. Then you can leave. Okay. Laws of chemical combination. In that, the first law is very simple. About it's about the all the laws are mainly based on the mass only. Here, first law is law of conservation of mass. So here we are just dealt that mass can not be created, it cannot be destroyed. It okay, but you only have asked about 2 points. One point yesterday that sir, in the nuclear reactor we will be converting the mass and we will be losing the mass. Yes, it is true. According to the Einstein's equation, m equal to mc square, mass could be converted into the energy. There also, okay, there also it is converted into the energy, but it is not lost. Okay, you will be converting the mass into the energy by not losing anything, because we have some similar type of one more law. What is that? Law of conservation of energy. The same thing is repeated. What is that? Energy cannot be created, not be destroyed. Only thing is you can convert from one part to other. Okay, one form to other. Here mass can also be converted into the energy. Here there is one more also. I should have mentioned it yesterday only. There is one more also. Oh, there is one more also. In that case, I can just extend. Okay, thank you, Namita. Okay. There's one more also where the mass is lost. Do you know where there is a radioactivity? If you know about the radioactivity is also losing of mass only. Okay, losing of mass only. It is called as a disintegration. Mass will be lost from the nucleus. Okay, so law of conservation of mass holds good when you are converting a mass into the mass, where whatever the mass you have started, final mass will also be same until either it's a nuclear nuclear reactor or radioactivity. Here mass will be lost. Okay, mass will be lost. Whatever the initial mass that you have taken, you may not get the final mass exactly same as that, because some mass is converted into the energy form, but finally overall either mass or energy will be conserved. Okay, understand that whatever the mass is lost, it is lost as an energy, not as something else. Okay, in these two cases you may lose. Okay, then we'll go for the next law, because this is discussed yesterday. We'll go for the next one. Yesterday, after finishing of the second law, some message that it was not clear, so let me start clearly from that one now. So the next law is law of definite proportion. Law of definite proportion. Okay, so before explaining, okay, I'll just take 1 minute to tell you something that those who are not clearly understanding, for example, there could be some students from the Kannada medium and they may feel little difficult in understanding. Okay, because I know up to the SLC you were mainly learning in the Kannada language only, but suddenly extending it to the English, you may feel little difficulty. Those who are feeling little difficulty, so just message me personally today. Okay, I'll talk to you people. Okay, I'll talk to you people. So don't worry. Okay, don't worry. You just message me personally. So if you are from the Kannada medium or if any medium also, if you're not understanding, message me personally. Okay, we'll talk. Okay, we'll have a chat. Okay. Okay, let's continue now. Let's continue. Law of definite proportion, what it tells here is, okay, what it tells here is, so a pure chemical compound always contains, okay, a compound always contains, always contains, so same, okay, same element. Let me just write, then I'll explain. Okay, so let me just write it, then I'll explain. So a pure chemical compound always contains same elements combined together, same elements combined together in the same, in the same definite proportion by weight. First of all, let me tell you that it is also related to the weight only, okay? Contains exactly the same proportion of elements by weight, okay? So, here the compounds always contain the same elements in the same definite proportion by weight, okay? You can even assume that the definition completes from here only, okay? From here to here only, you can just read out, okay? So, understand that compounds always contain the same elements in the same definite proportion by weight. Okay, so here understand that what is this compound now by weight, what is the same proportion. For example, I've taken the example of H2O, right? H2O. So if you know this, okay, if you know this one, the water, okay, the hydrogen mass is 2 grams and oxygen mass is 16 grams. If you take the ratio of this one, it would be 1:8. Got it? Always it would be 1:8. It means you prepare, okay, you prepare water in the laboratory, you prepare water in the laboratory, because water could be prepared in the laboratory also. Or see, I think we can write it as 2:1 in the elemental ratio, but if you're writing the weight ratio, understand this, I'm telling this once again. Yesterday I might have only told that it is 2:1 ratio, that is a number ratio. But if you want to take the mass ratio, okay, if you want to take the mass ratio, you should understand that because it is mentioned clearly that you have to take the weight ratio. So then you have to take the weight, then you have to take the ratio of this. Got it? So it would be better if you don't write it as 2:1, just write it as its mass ratio will be 1:8. So if you prepare this H2O in your laboratory, okay, imagine you're working in a lab now, you prepare H2O, there also the ratio of 1:8 is maintained, or naturally occurring water also it will be 1:8 only, okay. Its mass ratio will be never different. So that is what, when a compound you have taken, it contains the same definite proportion by weight, its proportion of weight will be always same, whatever may be the source. Got it? So whenever you take any compound, the proportion by weight will be always same. Or if you take the percentage also, this is 11.1%, this is 88.8%. So this will be always maintained by weight. Okay, by weight you should maintain it. So it is clear, okay, it was extremely accepted, but there is problem with this one. Okay, I'll just explain two problems with this law, then I'll finish it. Okay, then you can go for any of the other class that you want. See, problems means limitation. What are the limitations of this law now? What are the limitations? Limitation means even though it is given, there could be some problem also, it may not be maintained always. For example, I will prepare the carbon dioxide. Let me take the mass ratio first. Carbon is having atomic mass of 12 and oxygen is having an atomic mass of 16. The two are there, so therefore it is 32. Okay, the weight ratio will be to 12:32. So if I take the common number from this one, so it would be I think I can take the common number as so 2 can be taken. So 6 is to 12, sorry, 16. So it would be taken as 4 can be taken here, right? 4. So 3:2. Okay, it will be maintained as 3:8. Got it? You will be maintaining 3:8. Got it? Okay. So always it will be maintained. Okay, whether I prepare the carbon dioxide in the laboratory or naturally occurring, so always it will be maintaining 3:8 ratio by weight. Got it? 3:8 ratio by waste. But there is a one problem with this one. Okay, and what is that limitation here is, this is not hold good, this rule will not hold good for the isotopes. Okay, isotopes, do you know what you mean by isotopes? Isotopes are something which are of the same element but contains different mass. For example, hydrogen could exist as hydrogen or deuterium or tritium, where mass of hydrogen will be 1, mass of deuterium will be 2, mass of tritium will be 3. Similarly, if you contain carbon, it exists in mainly in two form, carbon C12 or carbon C14. Okay, C12 and C14. What it indicates, this carbon contains mass 12, the carbon which is C12 C14 carbon is, yes, isotopes are something which is having same atomic number, means carbon has same atomic number of 6, but mass numbers are different. So if I conduct or if I prepare carbon dioxide by using, okay, by using isotope of the carbon, then the mass of carbon will be 14, this oxygen will be remaining as 32. Got it? So in that case what happens now, in that case what happens, if you take the ratio, it would become 7:16. See whether it has maintained now, no, even though both are carbon dioxide only. So therefore for isotope this will not hold good. Okay, this will not hold good. And there is one more also. Okay, there is one more, last 2 minutes I'll take, then I'll finish it. And for the other type is, you cannot just tell that by knowing the formula. For example, C2H5OH. Okay, I'll take the alcohol. Let me take the mass ratio of the carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So it will be 24. Okay, carbon 2 are there, so totally 24. So hydrogen 5 and 1, that is 6. Oxygen is there is only 1, so 16. Got it? So C2H5OH. So if I take the common from this one now, okay, if I take the common, it will be 12, 3 and 8. So this is the ratio, this is maintained. Okay, this is maintained for the C5H2O. Got it? So by knowing the atoms, I can find out the ratio of weight. But just by knowing the ratio of it, I cannot tell that that is that compound. For example, if I mention that 12:3:8 ratio of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen is given, what is the compound? I cannot exactly tell that this is the compound. Why? Because there could be some other compound also with the same ratio. For example, if I take CH3OCH3, you know this is different. This one is alcohol and this one is an ether. And this also contains, okay, this also contains 2 carbon, means 24, 6 hydrogen, that is 6, 1 oxygen, that is 16. So if you take the ratio, it would be 12:3:8. So again the same ratio, but a different compound. So therefore, vice versa of this one, okay, the formula, this statement is true, but inverse of this statement is not true. Are you getting my point now? The inverse of that statement is not true. It means by knowing the atom, I can find out the mass ratio. But just by knowing the mass ratio, I cannot tell that it is same atom. Got it? So therefore, these are the two drawbacks, that it is not hold good for this isotope, and it is not true that inverse of this definition is also not true. Inverse of this definition also not true. Is that clear, my dear students? Is that clear what I just told? If it is clear, other laws we'll be discussing tomorrow. Okay. So if you have doubt, you can just contact me. And those Kannada medium students, those who are not understanding, or those students who are not understanding, not only Kannada medium, any medium student, those who are not understanding, please contact me today. We'll try to discuss, okay, what can be done. Got it? So in that case, I will be ending this session. If anything is there, you can just message me now only. Okay, notes will provide. Okay, we'll provide, don't worry. I'll talk to sir about this. We'll provide you the notes, don't worry. Yes, everyone, those are telling thank you. You are welcome. Okay. Yes, Namita. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, in that case, I'll close it now. Okay, we'll meet tomorrow. Yes, Shravan, welcome.